time of year, whereas we were just carrying on.
Carrying
But
on.
the
You
biggest,
never you never fell off the wagon because you weren't on it, or you didn't fall off the wagon. You were consistently on it.
yeah. And another thing, just wanted to mention, I weighed 188 pounds, which is a pound, about 1 pound above the cut I done before Christmas.
Wow,
So I'm pretty proud of myself for that one, like getting through the holidays and all the traveling and everything. I kind of
unreal,
gained,
John.
on average, I kind of gained about a pound. So I'm
That
delighted,
is, yeah,
delighted with that.
Wow.
awesome stuff. Great to hear. Great to hear. James, what's been your biggest win?
Yeah, my week was a bit of a weird week, really. So I started Monday. It was supposed to be a normal week, just working in Ireland, but it ended up, I was flying abroad on Tuesday evening, which I was totally unaware of just in regards to work.
Yeah,
Um, so I was basically doing an awful lot of like hotel workouts. So obviously hotel gyms can be very limiting. So it was kind of trying to work around that.
yeah,
And then came Friday, I managed to get 3 workouts in, but came Friday where I was working on site abroad, I actually had a work accident and ended up in hospital over the weekend in Amsterdam. So
oh shit.
uh,
Okay, man.
but it wasn't anything major. So I'm thankfully back home today. I'm gonna just go into the gym for like a light session, nothing too major.
Yeah,
Probably more kind of the assault bike, but a little tailored back.
yeah.
Um,
Scale it back.
but yeah,
Okay.
I think it's more. I'm probably just a bit more tired out of that, maybe just a bit more stressed because of that. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah.
this week now will just be kind of today will just be kind of a breaker into this
Sure.
week. But
Yeah.
thankfully,
Okay.
thankfully it wasn't anything major. It was just
Oh, thankfully, man.
yeah, so it was fine.
Perfect. Okay. Thanks for sharing that, James. Okay. Okay. Chris, you're up next, man. What's been your biggest win?
Hey, how are you? I suppose just reducing the snacking, I'm adept for that. So
Yeah.
just reducing snacking and so
Reducing the
yeah, no,
snacking.
yeah,
It's a hard one, Chris. It is a hard one. It is a hard one. Something we all have to consistently work on at times. And Kathleen, you're up last, Kathleen.
Hiya.
What's
Sorry.
hello? What's been your biggest win, Kath?
This week. In life,
Absolutely.
this week. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've gone back dancing this week. So I went and joined some new companies around Galway because I'm probably sticking around now. So that was good. Like, it was nice to get back into it. Yeah, happy out.
Yeah, good to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
nerve-wracking
Good to
goal,
hear.
but good.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to get into the training, and what I want to cover today are a couple of topics. So today's date is the 16th. So we'll go through just some of the shopping list. We'll go through setting up your kitchen, and we're going through mindset principle 3, lean into discomfort. I'm actually going to start out with principle 3 here, lean into discomfort. And what this basically entails is, Conor Mack is joining now as well. Circumstances do not make the man or woman, they merely reveal him or her to himself or herself. In other words, who you are when times are hard is who you really are. And all I will say for anyone here is, we just spoke with this in our team meeting with Alex and Kaylee. Something that we're noticing with this is, I fell into this trap as well. This all or nothing mentality that we have a treat, we have a biscuit, we have a serving of chocolate. I've already had one piece, I may as well keep going. And then that comes into one piece, that comes into 2 biscuits, 3 biscuits, that goes into ice cream, that goes to a takeaway. I'll start again tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, we're feeling guilty. Tomorrow is Sunday. We will start again on Monday. Okay. Just if there's one thing you take from this, it's please try to get out of that all or nothing mentality. You're always one action, you're always just one decision away from getting back in track again. And that also comes with leaning into discomfort, not away from it. Okay, these things do happen, but try learn from it. Try learn from it. What can you learn from that mistake? So look, anything worth doing in life, especially with this, nothing will come easy. And that is the great thing about fitness. And it's also the hard thing as well. You can win the lotto. You can be a millionaire. You can have an abundance of money. You can hire a PT. You can get a coach to go with you to the gym. But he or she cannot do your push-ups for you. You got to do those yourself. All right? You got to do those yourself. And this is built, this mentality, it will come the longer that we do this. The longer that we do this. And I will say, look, we all have individual goals here. James, Kathleen, Chris, Martina, Aina, John, Conor Mac, all of us have goals here. Once you do not quit, hear me out now. Once you do not quit, wherever there is for you, whatever that goal is for you, once you do not quit, you will get there. It's only a matter of how long. And how long it will take you to get there will be dictated by how committed and how consistent you are. But once you do not quit, you will get there. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. I remember when I was doing a cut for a shoot and my calories were the lowest they'd ever been. All right. I barely had the energy, and it's not a nice place to be in, and no one will ever get this low, don't worry. But I barely had the energy to like pick up the remote when I was in a shitty mood. But I just kept reminding myself, the shoot's on Wednesday, my sister's wedding is on Saturday. After Wednesday, the week is mine. The rest of the summer is mine. I'm going to push through these next 7 days, these next 10 days, because these times won't last. And that was probably the most rewarding thing I did of all that year. Okay, so when you're going through a challenge like this, it will test you. But when you reflect back afterwards, that's what really will build your character, knowing you overcame that test. All right, so here's a request or reflection for this week. Did the hardships today bring out the best or the worst in me? In other words, when times got tough, did we give into it or did we persist and keep going? And it's something just to be mindful of. It's something just to be mindful of, and just the power of persistence there. All right. So that is our first pillar there. What has been your, I want to open this up and keep this engaging as well. What has been your takeaway from that? Anyone want to shout? We'll keep this an open book. How are we even going to implement this into our own lives? What's one thing that we find difficult that we're going to try better to persist through?
Yeah, I think personally anyway, Adrian, like with work, I travel an awful lot, so it's fairly hard for me to make the right decisions on the road, and just try and keep consistent. So that might be something where I need to kind of knuckle down and really try and I know we do have conversations and we do have that plan in place to get that, and as you know, and the weight is still coming off, which is a good sign, you know. So it's just trying to kind of make sure the nutrition is on point, but also being able, like, in regards to, like, I don't have full control of what hotels we book for work. So even if it does come to the point where we don't have a gym, being able to at least work out in the room as well, like body weight stuff, and just holding myself accountable for that as well, trying to get as much of those type of workouts done as well, you know.
I love it. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Anyone else want to share anything there? All good on that end? Okay. All righty. Let us move on. So the next thing that I want to talk about, and this is, so James, you spoke about obviously the shopping list there. Does anyone can I get a thumbs up even in the chat? Who here has this downloaded onto their iPhone or onto their phone that you can access it when you go shopping? John, you have. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, to you as well, Chris? This is our shopping list here.
I said I will.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you will. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, John, go ahead.
Adrian, I initially did have it on my phone and I used to make use of it, you know, but now I'm so used to the do's and the don'ts. I just know automatically what to buy, what not to buy. Is just in the head now. So
awesome stuff. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Let's go through some of this here. So vegetables. All right, huge thing with vegetables. I find with vegetables the biggest resistance for me is just chopping them up. All right. If you're feeling sometimes lazy in the kitchen and you know you should be eating some veg, two easy ways to do this. Get them frozen, and they usually come pre-chopped, so you just got to fire them in. Or you can get smoothie boosters as well, where you can make up your own smoothie, and there's some spinach or some veggies in there as well. But either way, vegetables should be a staple in our diet every single day. Try to eat at least 2 servings of veggies, if at all possible. Okay. We're just going through some of the veggies here, like obviously the broccoli, the Brussels sprouts, the peas, all of those. They're all fantastic, but just do not be shy on veggies. They will teach you one important lesson with nutrition, and that is how much food you can actually eat for such few calories. How much food you can actually eat for such few calories. Now, of these complex carbs here, these are what are going to give us energy throughout the day and for our workouts. And carbohydrates are dependent on activity. In other words, the more active you are in your day, the more of these kind of carbohydrates you need. The less active you are, the more sedentary you are in a typical day, you don't need as many of these. But some good options are the good old oats, the porridge for breakfast, okay? Rice, both white and brown rice. White rice gets a bad rap. It's absolutely fine, okay? White potatoes get a bad rap. They are one of the most filling foods out there. Boiled white potatoes. It'll be hard to find a food which is actually will make you more full. They are fantastic. Sweet potatoes. This is a big one now that I've been implemented lately. Beans. And particularly what I'd recommend is black beans and the Benoit brand. If anyone knows the Benoit black beans there, a full 240 grams drained only contains about 140 odd calories. Quite a bit of protein there. Very, very filling. And a lot of fiber there too. So there's something that we could definitely just buy as well. Now, when it comes to the breads and the pastas, there's good, there's better, and there's best. What I'd be looking out for when you were going for the breads and the bagels and the pasta, just look at the ingredients, look at the back. For example, whole grain pasta, it is 100%. It's just one single ingredient, whereas sometimes the likes of other forms of pasta, there's more wheat, there's more gluten thrown in there as well, and it's more quote unquote processed. So try to keep it to more just as single ingredients as possible. Same with breads. You'll see some Slimster breads with only 60 calories per bun. Or if you're not mindful of this, you could get a burger bun with 3 times the amount of calories. Okay, so just learn to read the labels there when you're looking at it. What's the overall calories? How many ingredients are in this food? That's going to make a big difference. Okay. Going on to our fats. So that'll be the likes of your oils. Now, extra virgin olive oil. Here's a little tip for us. Always try get it in a glass bottle. It'll hold its shape better. Okay. And secondly, do not leave it directly next to your oven. Okay. The heat can change its property. Try keep it in you know what the packet says, store in a cool, dry place. Try keep it away from the heat. And if you ever are cooking, that's only when you tip it off. The problem with fats, though, this is the important thing with fats. They are fantastic, but they can turn into more what we call refined fats when you add heat to them. So you don't want your fats to burn when you're frying. Which is why I mentioned to James before, I know, that coconut oil is quite good for cooking because it's got a higher melting point. In other words, you can heat that at a higher temperature and it still maintains those good, healthy fats. Whereas something like olive oil, as good as it is, it loses those beneficial nutrients, vitamins, and minerals when it reaches a certain temperature. Okay, so they're kind of your fats there to be looking at. In particular, though, omega-3 fats. A lot of these fats that we're eating, they fall into the omega-6. I know that'll be the likes of your oils, that'll be the likes of your nuts here, that will be the likes of your seeds. But ideally, you want a 1-to-4 ratio of omega-3 to omega-6. And omega-3, that will be fatty fish. That'll be your salmon. Okay? Salmon is one of the best you can get. Absolutely go with the salmon. It might even be an idea for us to supplement with a fish oil. With the fish oil, if we're not getting salmon or fatty fish at least twice a week. So many benefits there. Okay, going on to protein. Protein is what we have at every single meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, all inclusive. So good source for breakfast, eggs and egg whites there. Egg whites are a game changer. They really are. 70 calories in a full egg. Take out the yolk. I'm not saying yolks are bad. It's 20 calories. And the egg white, it's the pure protein part. The egg yolk, that's the healthy fat. Now, if you're someone who has 4 or 5 eggs, I would recommend you change the ratio of 1 to 4. 1 egg and 4 egg whites. That way you're still getting a lot of protein. You're getting some healthy fats in, but you're keeping the calories down. All right. Other great source of protein. So tuna, cod is a game changer. I mean, if we're on a really low calorie for, we'll say, for a peak week, you want to be getting leaner meats, and white fish is probably up there with the lowest of the low in terms of calories. Okay. White cod it's pretty much not the breaded cod now, just white cod on its own. About 20 grams of protein and only 80 calories. Fantastic. So salmon, mackerel there, all very, very good. Duck, I'd probably, yeah, I wouldn't actually have that in that list. I'd put that into the yellow light. Turkey, chicken, lean beef, lean mince, and so on. And Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt's a fantastic one as well. All right. What does this look like if we're easy on a typical day? Ideally for us on a typical day, we're getting 2 meals with veggies, and every meal we're having protein at. Okay. If we can do that, 2 meals with veggies and protein at every single meal, it's just a case of then balancing your carbohydrates and fats. Having more of the carbohydrates in training days and scaling the back in rest days. And that's pretty much it. These are spices then. So how do we make our meals more interesting? Look at these spices: cinnamon, nutmeg, turmeric, Himalayan salt, chili powder, paprika. All of these are very, very good there to be adding to your, and lemon as well. Lemon's a great one too, to be adding to your dishes. Okay. Any questions on that? Any questions on the veggies, on the protein, on the carbohydrates and the fats? Nothing at all? All okay? All okay? Perfect. Okay. Final thing we'll touch on, and then we'll open this up to Q&A. And this is a really important topic, which is optimizing your environment. Environment is the silent killer here for all of this. For it's going to be probably one of the single most important things that's going to determine our overall progress. James Clear, I don't know if any of you read the book Atomic Habits. He speaks about this too. Basically, you want to make the habits that you want to do more of as easy as possible to do. What does that look like in action? If you want to eat more fruit and veggies, have more fruit and veggies in your environment. Make them visible. Put them on the table. Put them in the fridge where you'll see them straight away. If you want to get rid of quote unquote a negative habit, you make it invisible. You increase the resistance. So ideally, instead of buying the ice cream, if we really want ice cream, we got to fricking drive to the shop to get it. It doesn't enter the house. If we really want the chocolate digestive biscuits, we got to walk to the shop to go there. That extra delayed gratification of 5 or 10 minutes often results in us just not wanting to go because there's too much resistance. But if you open up the fridge, and staring at you there is a lovely cheesecake and a nice dessert, as good and all as anyone's willpower is, the first thing that will come to your mind is, I wouldn't mind a bit of that. It's happened to me so many times. Never had any intention of eating it. You see it there, and before you think it's in your mouth. So a good way to just get rid of this, because your willpower, it's like a muscle. Just like your biceps get tired the more curls you do, your willpower, the more you got to exercise it throughout the day, the more it decreases. So make the helpful habits as easy as possible to adhere to. Make the more, processed foods or junk foods as difficult as possible to get. So if they are in the house, at least put them into the back of the press, out of sight, out of mind. And that's where environment comes into it. It really is. It really is. And you just got to know you best. some people after the Christmas, they get the sweets, they give them to a neighbor, or they fire them in the bin because self-control. Other people are able to just keep them there and not snacking them at all. You just got to know you best. You got to know you best. All right. Any questions on that? What's been our biggest takeaway from the training so far? Connor Mack, welcome. I haven't heard you yet. What would you say, Mac, has been your biggest takeaway? Whether it's mindset, whether it's food shop, whether it's just environment, what is your takeaway so far?
A few things really. I suppose like consistency, like that being in the gym and also eating consistent food, like on a regular basis, not just Monday to Thursday. Like it's you know, like that was one of my biggest downfalls, that if I went to the gym maybe once or twice or maybe an odd run, that was a license for me to have a good few pints the weekend and a takeaway on the way home. And I was like, should I have done my business? But it's not that. So definitely keeping consistency, main one for me.
100%, 100%. That mindset principle. Luke, haven't heard from you yet, my man. What's been your biggest takeaway?
I suppose for me, definitely a breakfast in the morning before I would have started. Like, it would have been coffee and straight. If I was either studying or straight to work, like I wouldn't have had regular meals. There would have been a large gap between kind of a snack and a dinner, or maybe a binge at night time. But definitely a healthy breakfast. Anyway, that's something that I keep, that I've started to do regularly for the last couple of months. So.
And Kathleen, Luke got a good idea from you with the meal prep. Luke, how's it been going for you?
I'm starting the 26th.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks very good there. There's a serious selection of stuff, like, and between lunch and dinner.
Can I give you a top tip? When you order them, there's a little note bit, and I always put please no bread, not because I don't like bread, but just because I always feel like it's a really expensive sandwich. So if you say please no bread, you get like potatoes, rice, and like gnocchi, and then you can add spinach. But you're not really going to be able to spinach, kale to a burger. The bread ones are kind of poor. Yeah. It's top tip. That's anyone who gets them. I say please no bread.
That's a good takeaway there, Kat. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, Luke, happy with that now, and good takeaway there as well. Anyone else want to do one more takeaway before we open it up? Training related, mindset related, environment related. What's one thing we can bring with us?
One thing, a comment I can make on it, Adrian, is this is kind of almost, I'm over a year with you now, so I've gone through some of this before, but I've also learned more since. You're on about like environment and stuff like that. One thing I found that helped me is, the way you're on about chopping the veggies. I actually learned to enjoy that. So I got myself like a savage knife, really nice cutting board, and I just blast music and I'm just chopping away. And I actually learned this is a part of the week that I'm actually going to enjoy.
And John, that's awesome.
It's working for me,
Yeah. Just put on a good podcast or something, or some good music there, and make those tasks enjoyable. Yeah.
What type of music do you listen to, John?
Yeah. I could be listening to a bit of country or anything like, you could catch me listening to anything.
Do you want a bit of old Taylor Swift or something, is it?
Yeah. Britney Spears. Good stuff, John. Good stuff. Yeah. Okay, let's open this up to Q&A now. Don't be shy now, by the way, whether it's your first or your 50th call. If anyone here has any questions, now is the time to ask. And if anyone doesn't have any questions also, I'd love to do a bit of hot seating if someone's open to it, and go through some nutrition training. But I'll open up to questions first of all. Does anyone have any questions, comments, anything at all that you might need help with? Because chances are, if you have a question, someone else is probably thinking the same thing.
Adrian, it's Chris here.
Chris.
If you could pick one thing that keeps you full but it's not mad in calories, what would you eat?
Okay, so this is such a fantastic question. When it comes to staying fuller for longer, I'll categorize it into three broad areas. You want to think of three things here. Okay. You want to think of protein, you want to think of fiber, and the obvious one is water as well, Chris. Okay. I'll start out with water. It's something I need to talk more of. And that is often we actually mistake being hungry with just being dehydrated. Good on you, Martina. You're drinking the water now as I say it. Good, good stuff. All right. So, Chris, the first thing I will say there is just actually being hydrated. Am I hungry or am I actually dehydrated? Now, protein next. Okay, so protein, you got to be thinking of foods that are high in protein that don't have a lot of calories. In my opinion, one of the goats of all time is freaking egg whites. Egg whites, egg whites, egg whites. If there's just one, you ask me for one, I'd probably go with those because you even look at the most elite athletes, MMA fighters, Chris, boxers, they're doing a real hard weight cut. Almost always. But I'm not going to say almost always, but it's quite often you see a staple in their diet, first thing in the morning, egg whites with spinach, egg whites with spinach, egg whites with spinach. All right. So I'd say egg whites. And then when it comes to the fiber is veggies. All right. So when it comes to veggies, the more chewing there is in them, the more likely they are to kind of keep you fuller for that bit longer. So let's just say Brussels sprouts, if anyone likes them, they're quite good. They're quite filling. Broccoli is another very, very good one. Cauliflower is another very good one too. And then the likes of kale, spinach, asparagus. All right. But if I had to pick one, Chris, I would say egg whites.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Good question. Good question. Brilliant question there. Anyone else have any questions?
Say I'm going on to E3 now, and even one of the messages you sent me today that like kind of the honey period part is over.
Yeah.
I found myself kind of the last maybe 3 or 4 days that I don't know, because say in the first 1 or 2 weeks I was eating healthy, I could see that I was losing weight, I was doing it steady, but now I feel like I'm not doing as good anymore, even though I still haven't changed anything, if that makes sense.
Sure. Okay. So with this saying that, so is your question that your progress has slightly slowed down from where it was at the start?
Yeah, exactly. Because like in the first week or two, I saw like just a massive change, and I'm still doing the same things, but I'm just not getting the same kind of I don't know the word to describe it, but I just don't notice as much progress.
Okay, yeah. Well, what I will say, Aina, is you've already lost, over 2 kilos inside the first 10 days, which is very, very good there. All right, so that is great progress. Now, if we're to lose 2 kilos every 10 days, we'll say across 90 days on average, that'll be a drop of 18 kilos, which wouldn't be healthy nor sustainable. So you got to think long term too. And I'm actually going to be doing a post in this as well. All right. Question. John, you can't. Well, I'm going to be giving away the answer. It is possible for us to lose weight but increase your body fat percentage. You can lose weight, but your body fat percentage can increase because your weight, it's just a number on a scale. Your body fat percentage is the ratio of muscle to fat that you have. And it's not much good if someone loses, we'll say 5 kilos, but the majority of that comes from muscle. And a good way to lose weight, but also to increase your body fat, is to cut your calories too low, to not strength train, and to not eat enough protein. Aina, your strength training, your protein is very, very good. It's through the roof, in fact. I'm really happy with it. And you've been consistent. So it's not always going to show in the scales, but it can show in your performance in the gym. It can show in your body fat percentage. It can show in your clothes too. And it does take time, man. It does take time. But just trust this process. You've been really successful so far. It's just consistency now. Consistency.
Perfect. Yeah.
And as the time goes on, your calories will drop as well as your body will adjust.
Perfect.
All right. And we might do that a bit sooner if it comes end of week and we're not seeing as changes as fast as we'd like. But I'm really happy with everything so far.
Perfect.
Great question. Anybody else have any questions? These are great. Good questions here now. Cash, Martina, John, Connor Mack, Chris, Aina. Don't be shy. If anyone doesn't, I will, if someone would like to volunteer I can do a bit of, or Martina, do you have a question? Sorry.
No, I was just no, I don't. No.
I can do some nutrition coaching 101 if anyone would like me to hop onto there, My Fitness Pal, and just break down and give you some tips, some feedback on some positives and some areas for improvement if anyone wants to volunteer.
Yeah, I'm actually happy to volunteer for that, Adrian, because I'm still trying to get my head
Brilliant. Yeah. Perfect.
around eating good, to be well, as eating as best I can, to be honest with you. And just last week went a bit skewy on me.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. I will I'll do that now, Martina. I'll open up your account. This is great. Perfect stuff. Okay. Alrighty. So we'll have a look here, Martina. Okay. I will go to, okay, let's have a look at the weekend. Okay, so we had avocado, we had 2 eggs there, and we had some brown bread there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, ideally, Martina, your protein target is about 120. So if you're having 3 meals a day and maybe some snacks there, in every single meal, you ideally want to be getting about 30 to 35 grams of protein. Now, I know I'm coaching Martina, but this applies for everyone as well, just with our meals there. 2 eggs will give you about 12 grams of protein there.
Right.
Now, can you remember what I said to Chris as being one of the best high protein things you could add there?
The egg whites.
You can get liquid egg whites, Martina, in Super Value. You can get them in Tesco as well. They're in the fridge.
Okay.
Or if it's a case, you could just toss the yolk and add an extra 4 eggs, we'll say, and just toss 4 of the yolks there.
Okay.
I like everything else. So avocado, that's good. You have some bread there, that's all right. And you have some eggs there. Okay. A homemade smoothie bowl, so fruit smoothie with Greek yogurt and seeds there.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty. So just Greek yogurt, some fruit, some seeds.
So yeah, and there was a little bit of granola on it as well. Just a crunchy granola, a small bit.
Okay, yeah, happy with that so far. What I would say now as well, so looking at this here, chicken breast, 100 grams, that's perfect. Boiled carrots, potato, broccoli, that's brilliant there, that dinner. And then some Alpro, that's like a yogurt, Martina,
The
is it?
dark chocolate yogurt last night, yeah.
For sure, and strawberries there. What I would say here is, and this is something for us all to be mindful of, be careful with My Fitness Pal. That if you, let's just say, for instance, you search chicken breast, we'll say.
Yeah.
Try to look at the calories in not just the first one, but just the average of all of them. Because I noticed this today or yesterday, I was logging pork or something like that, and or sourdough bread it was. And one of it said it had like 300 calories in 100 grams. Something else said as little as 170, but the average was about 180 there. So don't just select the first thing you see in My Fitness Pal. But Martina, to be honest, I think this is a great day of eating. The only thing I would recommend for you to do would be to add a bit more. Add a bit more chicken. So maybe bump that up to 150 or 200 grams.
Okay.
All right. And add some more egg whites there. And that's really going to give you that protein punch.
Okay.
Very happy with this. This is all pretty much single ingredient foods here. I'll do last Monday because we'll go that day there. All right. So that was the smoothie again.
That was the cookie dough. It's a Joe Wicks smoothie recipe. I think I sent you the ingredients I had in that.
Here actually. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, okay. The chicken vegetable soup, the curry and rice, the Christmas pudding. Yeah, okay. So I'll start out Greek yogurt. Great one here. Anyone here watching? That Faya Greek yogurt is fantastic. And this Kavarg one, white chocolate Kavarg. It is awesome. Lovely stuff there. With the muesli, okay, that can be a little snack there thrown in. That's all right. Chicken curry and rice, quite good. I suppose
that's your own recipe.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
That chicken curry is your own recipe.
Awesome stuff. Good stuff. Martine, if you search Mac Lifestyle Fitness, you'll be able to get the exact one that I input there. If you search that on my fitness pal, Mac Lifestyle Fitness chicken curry, it'll come up there for you.
Okay, great.
I think this is quite good. I guess maybe some takeaways here would be if we're on if we're going to bed hungry, a good tip that I'll give to anyone is, especially if you're having lots of shakes, is can you have that shake in the form of, can you actually eat that if at all possible instead of drinking? Now, if it's not possible with your schedule, that's fine. If someone here is doing a bulk, I'd always recommend to do shakes because they're a nice way to get calories in and you digest liquids better. But if you want to stay fuller for longer, I would say the opposite. I would turn our shakes into actual meals because by eating the food as opposed to drinking it, it's going to keep you fuller for that bit longer.
Okay.
All right, but what I'd be saying for you there, Martina, add more protein.
Okay.
Eat what you're already doing. Just add a bit more protein and everything else. It looks really good now. You've really progressed steadily since the week.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Who else? Would anyone else like to volunteer? I can do one more for a nutrition coach in 101. Don't all shout at once.
I'm not tracking at the minute, Adrian, so I'm no good yet.
Okay. I'm not going to put anyone on the spot. If no one wants it, it's fine. All right. Okay. All right. That is, unless anyone else has any questions now. Kathleen, Connor, Mac, John, Chris, Aina, or Martina, do any of you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, we're all good. Chris,
No,
we're all good. Yeah, okay. Let's all just share what's one thing. What's going to be one thing that's going to be a big priority for us this week? Whether with our food, with our drinking water. Okay.
It's a weakness. It really is a weakness.
First thing in the morning,
and I find
Martina.
it very difficult. As you know, I have 2 kids with chicken pox, so I'm not working, and I'm much better Monday to Friday when I'm working because I'll either have boiling water or my bottled water and I'll drink, or if I'm on other calls, I'll drink. But yeah, I would actually say that my intake be just a liter, and I'm at 6 o'clock today.
Make it easy. Bring a glass with you before you go to bed.
Yeah.
And every meal you eat, drink a small glass. Don't have it a huge pint glass, just a small little glass even. Make it achievable there.
Yeah, okay.
4 meals a day, 4 glasses, and a glass first thing in the morning. And that intake is probably doubled.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. No, that's my priority this week.
Good. I love it. Just one thing. Good stuff. Hey, now what's one thing that we're really going to focus on this week? Whether it's a lift in the gym, something with your food, something with your sleep, your lifestyle, your stress, what's it going to be for you?
I'd say definitely my meal planning because even there when you're asking people to show like our meals and stuff like the last 3 or 4 days have been kind of all over the place because like say just for example I'd be going somewhere with my friends and then for maybe 3 or 4 hours I wouldn't really get to eat anything because on the way home they'd be like, "Do you want to go to McDonald's and get McFlurry?" No, I can't. And then I'd be 3 or 4, maybe even 5 hours just not eating anything. Then as soon as I go home, I'd have to throw on something so I'm just gonna plan out my day a lot
big gaps there. Yeah. Bring in a protein shake or something with you, man. A nice little snack there to tie you over. All right, that'll be a good one for you there. Look at the the cookbook on one of those post-workout shakes. Even if you had a half serve in there, Aina, that'll be good to tie you over. John, what's going to be your big priority this week?
I just want to say one thing to add to that last comment was, I noticed as well with my friends, and it happens to everyone, is if they know you're doing something, and they know you're training, and they know you're restricted, they actually kind of enjoy giving you those little things. Oh, you can't now, can you? They'll say that or if you're going for a few drinks, they'll say, "Oh, you can't now, can you?" And they actually enjoy it, but kind of enjoy the other end of it too.
Yeah. We enjoy the progress, the results, and waking up fresh as well. So look, it works both ways. John, thanks for sharing that. What's going to be your big priority?
Priority, I'm just being good to myself. Like for the whole month of January, I'm focusing on sleep, water, getting into the gym a couple of times, not being too hard on myself. Just plenty of sleep, plenty of water, and keep the food, fairly clean, 80-20 or whatever we'll call it.
Positive, good stuff. Yeah, the mindset. I love that, John. And as you mentioned, just getting out for walks as well too. Clearing the head, being out in nature. I love it.
And that's good for the head. Like I'm a different person when I treat myself right. So
we're all the same, John. Good stuff. Good stuff. Kathleen, what's your priority?
I'm similar to John. I went too hard last week, was doing loads of new stuff, and I'm out again. I'm dancing late at night, so I'm doing 8 till 10 o'clock. So I'm trying to get a bit of quality sleep, and it's going to be my aim this week, and go a little bit easier on myself next week.
Yeah, awesome, Kath.
And then easier from next week. Yeah.
Good stuff. I like that takeaway. Chris, what's your big priority for this week?
Egg whites, I think. Eating heaps of them. So
yeah. just eat egg whites all day, man. Yeah, I love it. Chris, add those to the breakfast, man. I know you like your porridge there too. If you porridge and egg whites there, that's your clean protein if you have time for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can even just put them in the microwave there, heat them up for 2 or 3 minutes, and they're nice. They're nice with some avocado as well, if you had them with that, or some bread and avocado. But yeah, absolutely, I like that, Chris. Conor Mack, what's your big priority?
Get out for a run or a cycle. Probably that'll be towards the end of the week.
Yeah, good stuff.
Just to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, variety. I like it, Mac. Good stuff. My big priority is the same as Kathleen and John, and that is just sleep. All right, don't neglect the sleep. Try to get your 7-8 hours if you can, because you can be doing everything right in the gym with your food, but if your sleep is off and you're that bit more stressed, it can just be the silent killer of the gains there. So, rest up after, at the end of the day. Try to get off the phone, a challenge of mine too, and you'll wake up the following morning feeling refreshed. There we go. That is all for this week's coaching call. I appreciate every single one of you hopping on. Great to be developing this community. And that's something we're going to be working towards. This is a big goal of mine this year with Mac Lifestyle Fitness, is to develop more of a community in the group as well. The group and the app there. So don't be shy on taking pictures of your food, on sharing any wins, on encouraging others and giving thumbs up. I really want to get that group engagement going. So anyone here on this call, I expect us now to try to be adding and contributing more to that as much as possible, okay?
No pressure.
No pressure, as Martina said. But that is all for this week. Signing out. Virtual fist bump before we go, everyone. Great to catch up. Let me know if you ever have any questions.
Cheers. Thanks, Adrian.